beginners though. And today on the channel we are going to be talking about mental health. But before we dive into that, it is a lovely new month to finally enter into the Ember month. And this is the first day of the month of September 2021. So gradually we've gotten to the last quarter of the year. So this year has really been a fast one. I know that at the beginning of the year, a lot of us set a lot of resolutions, a lot of goals that we intend to achieve this year. Have you been able to achieve those goals? If not, you still have opportunity in this last 4 months. A lot of things can still happen. So welcome to September, welcome to this new month, and welcome back to my channel. Are you a new subscriber or are you a first timer to this channel? I am so happy to have you. Welcome to the family. Please make sure that you become a permanent member of this family by subscribing to the channel, and when you do, click on the notification bell so that whenever a video drops you get to see the video. And to all my old-time subscribers, all my returning subscribers, thank you so much for being here all the time. It is because of you that I still come around every time. And so I say that today we are going to be talking about mental health. Now, mental health is one thing that we do not take serious in this part of the world. A lot of us believe that once somebody is not sick physically, that the person is okay. When we talk about health, we are referring to all total wellness. And this wellness is not just about physical wellness, it also has to do with emotional wellness, your mental wellness, your spiritual wellness even. So it is the totality of somebody's health. So today I believe, or I deem it that it is important for us to talk about mental health. So the first question is, what is mental health? Now, mental health includes our emotional, psychological, and social well-being. It affects the way that we think, the way that we feel, and also the way that we act. It also determines how we handle stress and make choices. So mental health basically has to do with the whole of our psychological makeup, because our mental health affects a lot of things. The way we talk, the way we relate with people, the way we handle stress, the way we take care of ourselves. It is very important. Now, at every stage in a human life, it is very good that a person maintain a positive and well mental health, whether you are a child or an adolescent or an adult. Mental health is very important. And then in the world today, we see that a lot of people, when you see them, they look so stressed up. Some tell you they are depressed. Now, if you can remember, sometime from 2019, the rate of suicide in the society has increased dramatically, and that is because a lot of people are not well mentally. So you see that mental health is not just about an adult thing. Even a child needs to be well mentally. Even a young person needs to be well mentally. An adult is not even debatable. So it is very important. Now, what are those things that can affect our mental health? Now, there are a lot of factors that can lead to mental illness. There are a lot of factors that can determine whether one is well mentally or not. The first factor, and a very important one at that, is the biological factors. Now, we know that all of us, we are wired differently. When we were all born, we inherited different genes from our parents. And now some people, as a result of the genes that they inherited from their parents, and some others, as a result of their brain chemistry, you will see them from time to time exhibiting signs of mental illness. Some people, their own might be as a result of some abnormalities in development, or as a result of abnormalities in the course of growing up, or as a result of one problem or the other that maybe their parents faced, especially the mother, in the course of the pregnancy, All of this can lead to mental illness. So this one, it is nobody's fault. It is just the way they are wired. It is just the way they are born. So that one, we cannot really say that it is anybody's fault. Then another one is life experiences. There are some experiences that we pass through in life that can lead us to mental illness. There are some people that have passed through a lot of trauma. There are some people that have passed through a lot of abuses, rape, different kind of abuse, torture. All of this can lead to mental illness. Because the truth is that when you pass through this trauma, you find yourself not being okay again. You find yourself withdrawing gradually from the society. You find yourself not wanting to associate with anybody as a result of your life experience. So life experiences can also lead to mental illness. Another thing that can also lead to mental illness is a family history of mental problems. There are some families that you see that sometimes the mother or the father or the grandmother at one point or the other exhibited some kind of a mental problem. Now in my place, they say that there are some people during a particular season, maybe like during the rainy season, you will see them behaving abnormally. And then after the rainy season, they will be okay. And there are some of them during the dry season, you will see them behaving. I'm sorry, but when we were small, we used to say that there is one knot that they usually remove from their head when they were at a particular period. But now I've come to discover that no knot is being removed from anybody's head, but it's as a result of what? As a result of mental illness, and you see them from time to time, they'll be exhibiting different characters that nobody can even explain. So family history of mental problem can also be another factor which can affect an individual's mental health. And then, having talked this much about what mental health is and the factors that can lead to mental illness, what are those signs that you need to look out for to know that you're not mentally all right? Because there are certain signs that when you see it in your life or somebody close to you, then you know that really there is need for you to call out for help. And what are those signs? Then the first signs that you will notice when somebody is not mentally all right, or when you start noticing these signs, then you know that there is need for you to call for help. Number one is when you discover that you don't get enough sleep, or when you sleep too much, more than you used to do before. That time, it is a red flag for you to know that you need help. So that is the first sign of mental illness. Eating too much or too little, or sleeping too much or too little. Because some people, when they are passing through an emotional stress, you will see them wanting to just sleep all day. They don't want to do anything. All they want to do is just to sleep and sleep and sleep. And there are some others, when they are passing through stress, they'll find it very difficult to sleep. In the night, the person will just lie down on the bed all through the night, turning from one side of the bed to the other. So when you find yourself not sleeping enough, or as when you find yourself not getting enough sleep, or sleeping too much, excessively more than you used to do before, then you know that there is need for you to check your mental health. Or when you find yourself eating, we call it binge eating excessively, more than you used to do before, then you should also know that there is need for you to look for help. Another thing also is if you discover that you are pulling away from people, you no longer want to associate with people, you start avoiding your friends, you start avoiding your family members, all you need is just to be alone. In that case, then you know that there is need, that there is something wrong. So when you find yourself pulling away from people, the people that you used to hang out with, you no longer want to hang out with anybody, you no longer want to talk to anybody, you stop going to church, you stop going to recreational centers, then you know that at that point, that yes, you are not all right mentally. Alright, still talking about those red flags, we're saying that when you start noticing that you are pulling away from people, or pulling away from activities that hitherto you used to enjoy doing, then there is need for you to check out your mental health. Another sign that you also need to look out for is when you notice that you don't have energy again, you are low on energy, or you don't have any energy at all to do things that you usually do before. Then there is need for you to also be worried about your mental health, because what this means is that there is no willpower for you to live again. And that is why you see most people that will just tell you, there is nothing in this life again. Instead of me to continue to be alive, it is better for me to die. And that is what will start bringing suicide thoughts into people's mind. So when you notice that you no longer have the energy, the strength, the willpower to do anything, you just want to be there and allow things to happen to you, you don't want to take control of anything, that is something that you need to check out for. It means that there is really something wrong somewhere, and that thing needs to be addressed immediately. Another red flag for you to know also that that you have mental illness is when you notice that you start drinking or eating or smoking excessively, or when you start using drugs excessively. Now, you're not saying that on a normal situation when you are sick that you should not use drugs, but then there are some times that you see yourself using excessive drugs. Sometimes you look for something that will make you to feel on top of the world. You see, there might even be the need to start abusing drugs or abusing alcohol. So in that case, it means that what? There is also something wrong. And because of that, you should do what? Do something about it by trying to find out where the problem is coming from and also addressing the problem. Then, another red flag that will also indicate that you are mentally not all right is when you see yourself experiencing severe mood swing. Yes, 1 minute you are happy, the next minute you are sad, and then you feel like crying and you cannot explain what happened. Just imagine you are just on your own. The 1 minute you are very happy that things are very okay for you, then all of a sudden you feel this sudden sadness, sudden bitterness that you cannot explain, and it will last for a very long time. Then that shows that there is something wrong. So when you start noticing erratic mood change in yourself, it doesn't mean that when somebody gets you angry that you cannot get angry, or it doesn't mean that when something bad happens to you that you cannot get angry. But what we are talking about is that mood swing that you cannot even explain, that you cannot say that this is exactly what is causing it, or this is exactly what is not causing it. In that case, there is need for you to check out your mental state. Then another one also is when you start hearing voices or believing things that are not real. You know, there are some times that some people will be on their own and they will hear voices. They will just hear somebody or something talking to them to do something or not to do something. So if all of a sudden you start hearing voices or you start seeing things that are not real, things that only you is seeing, maybe you will be here, you see somebody and you are sitting down with another person and you are hearing somebody talking, and then you ask the person who is with you, can you hear what is going on? The person will tell you, no, that is a clear sign of a mental problem. It is a clear sign that your mental health is not in order. So when you start hearing voices or seeing things, then you should know that there is need for you to check out the state of your health mentally. Now, I'm not trying to, this is not about those that do hear from the Holy Spirit. Of course, we hear from the Holy Spirit. There are some people that are so spiritual that God talks to them directly. They hear God's voice. That is not the people I'm talking about. But I'm talking about those that just hear voices without having communion with God. Or those things, you start seeing things that are not real. It means that what? There is need for you to check out your mental state. Another red flag that is also very, very important is when you start noticing that you no longer or that you are no longer able to perform your everyday tasks. That's your inability to perform everyday simple tasks. For instance, you find it very difficult to stand up from your bed in the morning. If it's for somebody that have children, you find it very difficult to take care of your children. Maybe your baby will be here. You will not have the strength to bathe your baby. You will not have the strength to feed your children. Or you even find it very difficult to wake up in the morning and go to work. When you wake up, you just ask yourself, why am I even trying to bother myself? Why should I be going to work? Why should I hurry up to go to work for that day? It means that what? There is something wrong. Because if you are not able to perform everyday simple tasks, how then are you going to take care of yourself? So when you notice that you are not able to fulfill your everyday simple tasks, then there is need for you to check out your mental health. Now, these are some of the red flags that you should be looking out for. Now, there are so many other ones, but because I don't want this video to be too long, we are just going to be stopping it at this point. Of course, I said it earlier, there are other red flags or signs that you can look out for to determine whether you are mentally all right or no. So the next thing that we'll be talking about in this video is how can one maintain a positive mental health? How can you maintain a well mental health? Now, the first thing that you do, maybe you've noticed some of these red flags that we've already discussed initially. The first thing that you should understand is that you are not the only person in that situation. So don't even think about looking for the easy way out, because that easy way out is not usually the best way out. So if you have noticed any of these red flags that we've discussed before, or if you have seen somebody that is exhibiting any of them, the first thing that you need to do is to do what? Try to get a professional help. Yes, your mental health is as important as your physical well-being. So when you notice that you are not okay mentally, it is good for you to seek professional help. Look for those that are professionals in that area and talk to them. You can talk to psychologists, you can talk to psychiatric doctors. Those people, they can help you. There are those that are trained in that area, so try as much as possible to look for help. Don't just sit down and say that you're going to be all right on your own. After all, when we have spiritual problems, we go to our pastors for help, we go to our priests for help. When we are not feeling all right, we go to the hospital for help. When we have academic problems, we meet our teachers to help us. So when you have mental issues, you should also meet those that are professionals in the field to help you and deal with it. Because there are sometimes that you cannot just help yourself, that you need a second party or even a third party to help you out. Then the next thing that you should also try to do when you notice any of these red flags is to connect with other people. Don't isolate yourself. Don't just be alone. There are other people. You have friends, you have families. Try and reach out to them. Associate with them. Have discussions, go out from time to time and talk to people. Isolating yourself will be doing more harm to yourself than good, because you find out that the more you talk with people, the more you see a balance returning to your life. But if you isolate yourself, then that thought will continue to be in your head. And before you know what's happening, the thought will start turning to something negative. So if you notice any of the red flags that we've talked about, try not to pull away from people, but try as much as possible to get in touch with your friends, get in touch with your family, get in touch with your relatives, get in touch with your fans and talk to them. You never can tell. Just talking alone will go a long way in bringing a solution to whatever the problem might be. Then another one is also for you to do was stay positive. In Nigeria today, a lot of things are happening that it is very, very difficult for us to stay positive in the society. but that should not deter you. Negative mindset has never helped anybody at all. So try as much as possible to stay positive in spite of whatever that you are passing through in your life, in spite of whatever difficulty or challenges that you are seeing. Staying positive is one of the ways. In fact, it is the first way and the best way for you to start finding solutions to these problems. So my dear, staying positive is one of the best ways that you can bring solution to any kind of mental stress or mental problem that you may be facing. And in addition to that, also try to get active physically. Yes, exercise, walk about, jog, run, do anything, talk. Just be active physically. Don't just stay docile. Don't just stay one place. Don't just be stagnant. Move. Keep moving. Continue to move. Do anything that will make you to be active physically. If you decide, you can try to just take a walk from time to time. Admire nature. See things around you. There are so many beautiful things around us. Look at them. Go out there and have fun. You can just walk on the road. You see people, you smile with them, even if you don't know who they are. Just be positive and also be physically active. Another way for you to also deal with what mental problem and maintain a positive mindset is by helping others. Yes, I know it might sound funny, but that is the truth. Because in the course of helping other people, you also see yourself deriving joy and fulfillment in rendering help to others. So try as much as possible to help others around you. It must not only be financially. You can help through different means. You can help by talking with them. You can help by teaching. You can help by showing them solutions to many things. Just help. No matter who you are, no matter who the person is, there is nobody in this world that doesn't need help. And in trying to help others, you also be finding help to your own problems and also to your own issues. And another one is to do what? Get enough sleep. Sleeping has a way of relaxing our nerves. It has a way of bringing relaxation to our mind, our soul, and even our body. So if you're noticing that you are not feeling okay mentally, sleeping can be one of the ways that you can maintain a positive mindset. Because after a fulfilled and satisfactory sleep, you will see that there is this form of energy that just enters your body. You will feel so much energized to carry out your daily activities. So if you notice any of the red flags that we've discussed before, try to sleep. Yes, forget every other thing. Just find time. Those things that you are struggling to kill yourself to do, they can wait. They can wait for 1 hour, they can wait for 2 hours, they can wait for 30 minutes. Just sleep and make sure that the sleep is a satisfactory one. Don't sleep and be thinking at the same time. And finally, try to develop a skill. Learning new things is one of the ways that you can overcome mental issues. So in order to maintain a positive mindset, learn something. Learn how to cook edikaiko soup, or you can learn how to sew, or you can learn how to write. Just learn anything at all. Learn a skill. Even if you're not going to use that skill as for commercial purpose, use it for your personal need. Just look at me. At the point when I learned how to sew, I did it just because I was bored and I needed something. I have been disappointed so many times by tailors. So I decided to go and learn how to sew. And look at me today. It is one of my side hustle that I'm using to make small, now. So you can learn a skill. Learning anything new can help you also to overcome mental illness. Now you see that it is very important that you know all all this thing about our health because being healthy goes beyond just physical well-being. It covers every aspect of our life, and that is why today I am telling you that is watching this video today that there is need for you to take care of your mental health. Do not take it for granted because it is as important as your physical well-being. Remember, it should not be debatable. If you notice that you're not okay mentally, seek help. Don't be quiet. You are not the only one in that situation. There are so many others that are also in that situation, so it should be nothing to be ashamed about. Seek help, positive help at that, and everything will work out for you. Now, in the next video, we are going to be talking about a peculiar aspect of mental health which has to do with postpartum depression. That is going to be the topic for our next video. So you that is here, I thank you so much for sticking with me up to this point. I know it's really been a very long video, but it is very important that we talk about this today. So till I come your way again, that girl that you have around you, continue to protect her because she is your responsibility. My name is Uju, and I'm happy to have you here. See you soon. Bye.